Like, obviously, I know like you're the queen of organic social media and like you're very authentic in the way you
Oh,
show up. Is there any aspect that you find value in using AI? Like, do you use anything to help you with writing copy, anything like ManyChat, just like to make your DMs faster if you're trying to
yeah.
launch something? Like, are there some areas that you would use it and some areas you absolutely don't use it?
Yeah. Yes, we do use AI for certain things. This is my belief on AI. So my mom is an artist. My whole life, she like a professional artist. She was mostly an illustrator. Actually, fun fact: her illustrations were in my anatomy books growing up when I was in college. Very cool. She was a medical illustrator. She went to school for illustration. So this is in the 70s, 60s, 60s. So she went to college for illustration. That in the 60s was like a drafting table, the big wooden table that's on an angle, pencil, layers of paper, cutting paper, gluing it on top of making corrections, cutting paper, right? When something like Adobe Illustrator came out or Photoshop came out, AI, we'll call it, right? Her job was not gone. She did not get replaced by computers. But what happened was, imagine she walked into Pixar and she gave them an illustration of a frame for a movie. And then a millennial walked in and gave them the same frame for a movie, but in 30 different layers with different colors and different shapes because they used Illustrator or Photoshop. And then the Pixar team is like, my mom's name's Stephanie. Stephanie, this is great. Could you make it green? My mom would have to go back to her drafting board. She'd have to create a whole new page, put on more layers, use acetate, literally draw the thing a second time, tape it on top, and then come back. But millennial over here, Gen Z over here would be like, boop, it's green. Sorry, what shade of green did you want? Oh, cool. Boop, it's that shade. Now it's this shade. AI is a tool. So we don't need to be afraid that like robots are going to take over our jobs, not yet, at least, right? But AI is a tool. So the way that the team and I look at it is kind of like Photoshop and Illustrator. Could my mom have continued down the path that she was without those tools? Yes, but to a point, she's doing herself a disservice. And yeah, people might not hire her because she's not as efficient. So we use AI to be more efficient. We have tried once or twice using it for kind of copy. I don't, for me, it's just not a thing for me right now with copy. I really deeply believe in my voice and message being the thing that it's the heartbeat of the business. So we've even had team members try to like take over some copy stuff. And it's just like, it's just, you can tell it's just not me. So where we use AI is we use a platform, Lauren, if you remember, I can't remember what it's called. Our podcast editor uses an AI platform to help him with editing faster. It will help pull out, like if we want to extract what were the main key points in this, or like writing a summary for the show notes, how can he quickly edit? So he uses something for editing purposes. I have used Chat GPT to come up with names of different things. Thank you, Cast Magic. There's so many of them. But full transparency, every name that we've come up with on Chat GPT, we have not used. We've been searching names for a new program that we're running in 2024. I'm like, it's just so Chat GPT that it's like, you could tell. I'm like, this just looks, it's like when a kid writes like a book report and then uses a thesaurus and changes every word to like what the thesaurus says. You're like, this isn't even English. Like, it just doesn't sound right. Where else have we used AI? For fun, a couple times, like in images, in slideshows that I've done, I've used some of the like fun imagery. But really, yeah, we're just using it as a tool. I'd say for certain people, if you don't have a team, it's probably really great, right? Because you can speed things up. I have a lot of friends who are using AI for some cool things. There's just I think the like terminology AI and like what it is has like taken over and given people a false sense of what it actually is. And what it actually is like we've been using stuff like this for years. It's different platforms, right? They're just different platforms on the internet and different cool things that we can do with technology, but we don't lean on it too much. I'm trying to think if we even use anything else. If we do, Lauren can let us know. Like I said, I've played on ChatGPT. I've played around with some of the Dolly is one of the like visual ones. Canva has tons of AI inside of it now. So I've done that a couple times, but I'm not like running my business off of it or anything. Cast Magic, Descript is one that we've used. we could take this Zoom call when we're done. Zoom even does it now. So you don't even need these platforms, but you could like download a transcription. And so then it could pull out like, what was everyone's question? And then I can have a document of like the 10 questions that were asked on this coaching call. And I can turn that into an email that I send out to my email list. If you missed the free coaching call, here were the 10 questions that were asked. If you want to hear the answers, go listen to the podcast. This is what we want to be doing in business though, right? It's like, how do we create that whatever this is, where like one thing is feeding the other. It's like, oh, you're listening to my podcast. Did you know I have a YouTube? Cool. You're on YouTube. Join my email list. Oh, you're on my email list. Come to my text list. And it's just like moving people through, because we have different types of buyers and we have different types of learners. And so it's our responsibility as a business builder to make sure that we're hitting on all the different types of learning and all the different types of buying. And not everybody wants to consume the same way. So by getting people into your world, lots of different ways, long form content, short form content, audio content, video content, written content, certain things are going to resonate, and you just want to keep people inside your world as long as possible. I don't know if I answered that.
Perfect. Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We're not using it like a ton, and maybe we could be using it more, but I will say also, we've done a lot of research. My brother is in the AI world. That's literally his job. We've done some things for fun. We've had guest speakers come in multiple times to speak about AI, and there's some really cool things you could do. And
oh yeah, I don't fear AI. I love AI. I just, I'm always curious to get people's takes on it, especially when it comes to copywriting and messaging and stuff like that, where it's like, where does it get murky, that it's not genuine all of a sudden anymore? And where is it cool to just use it as inspiration?
I think for me, that's what I've been doing, specifically with ChatGPT. It's like, can you rewrite this? And it's fun. It's like, can you rewrite this and make it sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Like, but what are you going to use that for? You know what I mean? You're just like, this is fun. This is fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.